welcome, and this is going to be an interesting one because the actual build, if we look at some of the skills, we will be using obviously a bunch of these, but the actual skills we want are locked mainly behind the forge card. So we'll have like a two-part leveling sort of thing. So you might have to respec depending on how you actually play. But we'll get into it as we go, and more than likely we'll be back when we unlock hammer throw, because that will be our distance skill.
Well done. We're almost there. I'll see you ahead.
So we just finished the first little area, about to head into camp. As you can see, we've got a couple of skills. Now, first passive points I suggest is into the fire res Juggernaut node, because we're about to hit a lot of fire. And specialization, I'm not going to do anything at this point, but you could either do the hammer throw, work on the melee. I wouldn't recommend lunge, or if you like warpath, you can use that early on and work that up. Or you could wait till you're level 5 and start with arrive. But yeah, I'm going to leave it blank at the moment. But we got the hammer throw. Next we get this, which we're going to swap out for our basic attack. And then we start unlocking everything else. So once we get through, probably unlock some of this, a little more defense, we'll be back. We just completed the storeroom and we're back. Now we have 4 unspent, and I'm going to actually send them all into this. You can do the Juggernaut and also the Fearless if you want some more health. Now we just unlocked Rebuke. Nope, nothing's coming to get us. So these are the skills we got. I'm using Rive obviously down here. Warpath just on our bar. Gonna be using Rebuke for our defense. This isn't a permanent skill, but early on Rebuke is good. Now once we get a few more points in everything, we can do other stuff, but lunge is pretty much obviously movement. Hammer throw, I'm going to stick up here, and we're going to go damage, just so we got a range attack that's damage. And apparently we can throw it up into the sky, but as you can see, we can take out groups of people with our hammer throw, so it's actually quite a useful tool. So increasing the damage will only make it better. Now we are level 7. I'll probably be back. Unless something comes up, maybe just before the summit. We're back and we're in the summit, just about to go fight the boss. I have put 2 skills in. Now I've just been doing damage and regen. The points, I haven't been putting them in, but you could have, in vitality or finishing this off. I'm going to finish this off, then start here. Now you could do equal, build up. That way you got fire res and void res and strength, which is damage. So strength is damage, and obviously resistance is the first and second area. Vitality is life, and regen is obviously your ability to get the life back. Now we are 42% on the fire, which 48%, because pretty much gear, just running whatever I picked up. I haven't picked up anything here. I've been running a shield, which I'm gonna be doing all the way to the end. Yeah, the gear is just whatever I picked up, nothing special. And I would like to use that, but level 20. came out of one of those caches. Epochs. But yeah, I'll see you back probably when we unlock some more skills or need to change things up. We're back after beating the chapter 2 boss. If we have a look, we have our passive skills. So we put 3 there, a couple there. We unlock Smite, which is the last one of this, but we also chose Forge Guard. So we're going to start putting points in there. And skill-wise, been leveling up this stuff. Now we want to unspec this. Put in Smite, unspec this, and put in Forge Strike. With the Smite, we want to head down this line here. What? Not here. This way. And a little over here. So you might as well just did all the way through. Now the lost the word. Forge Strike. We're gonna take all damage first. Now you could do against rares if you're struggling. So go 1, 2, 1, or just all 3 in the next level you pop up over there. So yeah, we got 2 skills that we're actually going to keep. Passive skills, we are unlock the Forge tree. And we still want to level out this eventually. Level out this and check my notes. 9 points into this. That's eventually. And that will be the Sentinel base. Forge Strikes, where obviously we're going to do a lot of our points. But that is chapter 2. We have to go back, talk to the peoples, and get on with chapter 3. We're back and we reached the cultist camp. Now, the passives, we have 4. Obviously, if you got more or less, then add more into there, and then some into there. They're the 2 we're working on at the moment. We are maxing both of them. Now, the skills, they're both level 5. We went 3 and 2. We're going to max that. Then we're going to come down to the sacrifice cost reduction. We just maxed out the damage and stun chance. Now, as I said, you could have went and picked that. We're going to come down for armor shred. And that's pretty much going to hold you through for a little while. 5 points there, 1 point there. We're going to work our way over there. And obviously we're 1 level away from level 20 and our next specialization. Our gear, nothing special. Just been picking stuff up so I can sell it because I like money. Now, been doing nothing with that, just whatever gear. As you can see, there's nothing special. I haven't crafted anything. This is literally what picked up off the ground. Res, it's coming together because of our tree mixed in with some of our gear. So you don't have to worry about the resistances in the first 3 acts. And as I said, I'm just selling it all. That I'll put up there. It's a bit of poison. No idea what most of that had on it. That's how much I need to worry about the gear at the moment. But we're at the cultist camp. and we need to do the things, go Abomination, take out them, and then we're on to Eterra's Temple. Now, obviously, with that skill unlock coming up, we will be doing the, if we look at the passive tree, we will be doing it once we get enough passives in our trees. So I will be back when we do have those passives. We're in the Outcast camp and it's chapter 4, which means it's been a while since we have actually done this. Now, we have 11 unspent points. We went through the entire, pretty much the entire chapter 3 without putting a passive point in, and we did okay. Now, we're going to max out this, so when we're hit, we obviously get the reduction on top of the base skill. What's it called? Yeah, whatever it's called. The you would have seen the effect of it in my editing more than likely. Now, we need to get 5 more points. Now, you could go the stun avoidance if you're getting whacked a lot. You shouldn't, because they shouldn't be hitting that hard versus your health, your armor, everything else. But if you're getting rocked a little, put the 5 points in there. I'm going to put the 5 points in the block, which unlocks the manifest armor. So we go skills. I've obviously been leveling up. I've done this, made it cost 15% life, and then I've started reducing it. The forge strike, I've done maxed out this, and then we're heading this way. And this is where we want to pull out the armor. Now, whatever piece of gear you have that's top, you can max it out. You can go 1 in each, or you can just pick one you expect to have the boosts. Now, I'm going to put it all in the armor. Truth be told, our armor is not very good. We have increased mana, attunement, and a bunch of armor. We could put it, I haven't even crafted anything still. We have not needed to, like, it's not optimal in the slightest, and we're doing okay. Now, the skills we're using, obviously Smite, the Forge Strike, and we want to take the Rebuke off. Except for, I think if I edited it properly, the show of the armor increasing. Pretty much I don't use these skills. The hammer throw will keep until we don't need it, because we're going to want a range attack. And yeah, it only does 53 damage. Like, it's not going to save your life, but it's going to be able to hit things from distance. Now, if we have a look, we are going into the Rising Lake and then going to do all this section and take out the crap. The next time we will show up, if we have a look, our skills, we're heading to max out that so the cost goes down. This, we're heading this way, so go here. This guy, we're trying to get his armor. And passive points, go 5 here and 8 here. So between those two, you should be fine for when we come back. Not sure what level will be, but it'll probably be based on passive points, not level. So once we have enough passive points, we'll be back and we'll do some more. Welcome back. We are at the Oracle's Abode. Right there. We have 14 out of 15, 5 out of 8. So if there's any differences in passives, that's probably it. Or if you're lower level, then obviously you've run through stuff more than me. Now, we're going to take the armor, and since we have 14, we're going to max it. And then we could increase damage per mana cost. Things do start costing a lot, so there is benefit to that. We can also take attunement and armor and minion armor. Now, with the 6 points, I'm actually going to take 6 into here. But if you're doing damage and needing the regen, do take all 6 here. Or if you got less or more, or whatever points you got. Remember, we are taking the stun and we're taking the armor on block. Except right now we are doing up front armor instead of the defensive armor. So I'll put all 6 here. That gives us 29 points into Forge Guard, 20 points into Sentinel, and we haven't touched these. We are going to 10 points here, 13 points here eventually, and we're going to do another 15 points through here. We'll end up with 55 points throughout this tree. But for now, we're going to max this out. So that's the direction you're going to take. That is 8 points. So take the 8 points here, and if you are struggling for armor, take more here. And if you're getting stunned because you're under health or under whatever, then take the stun. But here, so we're max. So shouldn't really be struggling for where do I put my points, because yeah, we're maxing here, here, and all of it does different stuff. So you want damage, you want upfront armor, and your minion, if he's dying a lot, do take that. And the block for like the background armor. The skills, now I'm not going to put anything here. You could put the movement skill. Shield rush, since we're using a shield, you could take the mana efficiency, so it reduces the cost because it is quite expensive when we're dropping everything else. Or you could do the lunge. Obviously, if you're using any other skill, rebuke probably by now you're finding isn't holding up. So either warpath, shield rush, lunge, bash if you want another striking one, shield throw if you want to add distance. Now this, I've just been working down here, trying to get this cost down. Here we've been working across here, adding global melee, and then we're going to add these two. This guy, I actually, instead of doing the armor and everything, I actually went up and gave him a sword, and it increased the damage, lowered his health. He is surviving. That's why I did that, because he is pretty much going to be the attacking force, keeping things there. We are defensively okay. We're going from a point where we're going to go from defensively okay to all round and start adding the damage. So here's sort of our damage buffer. But we need to get more points, and passive tree wise, that's the point you can go. And then when we get back, we will need 11. So in around 10, 11, probably 11 plus, but use the point I showed you, and we're gonna come back when we have 11. Welcome back, and we are just outside Farwood. Well, we're in Farwood, but we are at the checkpoint. The important thing is we have our points. Now we want a Forge Guard. Finish this off, which unlocks that, and then I want to max out this, and we still need 4, which I'm going to come up for here. 4 there, and unlock Smelter's Wrath. Skills. Before we do that, this we've gone with this one. The Forge Strike, we've come down, we've gone across, and we've started working here. This big guy, we've started to work the armor. This I want to put here. Now we have 7 points, so we could actually max out this and then come up and go here, which I probably will do actually. Do that, do that. Now we are going to work here, 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 and obviously there. Now I'll be back with 50, which will put our movement skill. I don't actually know whether I'm going to go the Shield Rush or the Lunge. It's a which one will help me better in the long run. The Lunge is fine, but the Shield Rush, it sort of gets me from A to B, doesn't it? But I'll be back when we unlock our last skill. We're back inside the Moonlit Shrine. We have our level 50. Yay! Now we're going to take a little more damage. And then I thought I'll try this first. And just smash the mana efficiency. And then probably don't really want it as a attacking thing. I prefer to, and I'll swap it out. I prefer to have it as a just a movement skill. So we go whoosh, and that mana efficiency is way better than it was, because I played around with it before and it would take like half our mana. Then by the time we did this and then this, we'd be completely out. So points, we are still going to put 5 here, 8 here. We're still going to put some points in here. Some points in here, some points in here. So we got our skills, but we still need to put our points in some life, some defense, and some resistances and stuff. This is purely just from gear and putting stuff on. As I come across it, I got a set shield, a unique cleaver. Excuse me. Put the turquoise stuff on to help him. And yeah, pretty much just if it's got a lot of mana. I haven't crafted anything either. I've deliberately done that just to see where we're gonna sit without any crafting. So far it's not terrible. We could do a lot with what we have. So knowing that, I'm actually happy. But yes, this is the character at the moment. We got all our skills. We just need to level them up. And we need to do the other passives so we can complete our leveling process. So I will be back when we have more passives and our skills look a bit better.
This hates, this despair, oblivion burns within me. This world earned its ruin. Do you deny it? My shadow will cover this world once more. Pathetic. Do you think my defeat changes anything?
Hello and welcome to the final time we're going to update this character's thing. Now, I'll get to these uniques in a second, but this is the gear we had for Raya. I'll just run through, nothing special. Some of the gear's not even crafted on. Excuse me. But as you can see, nothing special, and this up here is just armor and life. Now, the character wise looks like that, and the fact that we beat Raya, I believe, proves we can beat the rest of the monoliths, because we made mistakes and still survived because of the tankiness, and we can take way more from non-bosses than what we did in that fight. And passive tree, that's how the final Sentinel passive tree looks like that. Forge guards missing 11, 5 in here and 6 here. The paladin, you want to max out this one for the Ellie res and attunement for the armor minion, and max out blocked effectiveness and stun. This you want to take 10 in void resistance and fizz res, as well as the health, which will increase the tankiness. And we have fizz res purely because I think one of these pieces of gear, if we have at Luke, 40% fizz res from that. So yeah, if we take off that, we lose a lot. So we want to not be gear dependent. But as you can see, we got the movement and everything. We still need to work on a lot of stuff. Most of this stuff dropped at the start of the first monolith. And now this stuff, I will explain. This isn't doing much, and I didn't pick this up. I had this already, so I didn't use it because it seemed unfair to you saying I didn't pick up with this character. Now, we're purely using this for the damage. We want to increase this, this, and this skill, which this does, to 1200, 2400, and 1495. Now you can put this ring on as well, which increases the health and minion leech rate, blah blah blah. but it also helps with fire rares, and it's all good. Now we put this axe on. This isn't very good. This is very nice. So if you didn't just wanted the tank ability and you drop in smite just to keep the health up, then you can use these at a higher rate. Or if you want to switch over to endgame, sort of get rid of smite and have a more streamlined attack, you switch over to Rive, which means that all these get boosted by this axe. If we put this one back on, as you can see, it goes back down. And then it's not all that great with that, but it's good with the axe. So that's what you switch over to, something like that. A good weapon which is melee based, but instead of just picking a random piece of equipment out, this is going to be the same for you. Just did it even nope. It didn't even roll very good on all the stats. The melee damage, you could say, is okay, but it's a mid-roll, so that's achievable for you to get something that's mid-rolled, and that would increase that without even specking in. We haven't spec'd into Rive, so that's the base damage. I would believe we could get up to over 1,000 with the skills, because the skills, we have 18 points into smite, and we're going here, and then we're going to finish off doing that. We have forward strike. We have one more point there and one more point there. The gear. Now, I recommend you focus more on this one, but you can put the last two in your boots, or you could do sort of this, because your boots aren't going to have probably great damage for, or armor or anything like that for the minion to use. Now last 2 points you could put there, or one in each. Now shield rush, this purely just for us to get from A to B. So this is just a little bonus damage, clear some of the trash. We could actually have gone way less points and just had the mana efficiency, some damage, but this gets the trash off. And to finish off, we're probably going to put 1 point here, 1 point here. But you could do mana efficiency, max it out. Apart from that, you could do it any way you want. And you can take that, but unless you're not tanky, which you should be, because you got 51% and 35% non-physical, then you got, depending on your block chance and block gear on your armor and stuff, you shouldn't be taking that much damage. Now elemental, we do. These aren't very good, obviously, and we have no real way to mitigate the actual elemental damage on us. So we get a little worse off if someone's not trying to punch us in the face. Also, ailments. If we get 20-30 stack of poison, we need to use our potions or just stand there and try to smite someone getting it back. But that is the character of the Juggernaut. Do let me know what you think and enjoy.